Did you know that the first FIFA game in 1994 only had national teams? No real players are named, and there was only one stadium. You're listening to the Xbox Hub Podcast, the official podcast of the TheXboxHub.com. For all the latest Xbox news, reviews, videos, and opinions, make sure you visit the TheXboxHub.com. But for now, settle down, get comfy, and open your ears for some podcast delights. Hello, welcome to the Xbox Hub Official Podcast, episode 141. My name is Gareth Bronner. I'm going to be your host, and on my virtual left is Mr. James Burke. How you doing, James?
Hey, not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Were you not on last time? When were we on? Oh, you were on last time.
We were. Yeah, me and Richard weren't too well.
Yeah, that's right. You were both poorly, weren't you?
It was a long hour.
Good. And on my virtual right is Mr. Paul Renshaw. How you doing, Paul?
Hey. Doing super duper. Thanks for asking. How are you, Gareth? How are you, James? And the mystery third.
Don't say this. We're surprising this now. I thought he was going to give it all away.
I'm not going to give anything away. I'm just going to keep my gob shut and not breathe.
On my virtual opposite is a new member to the podcast, Mr. George Sweetnam. Have I said that right, George?
Yes, you have. Yeah.
Right. How you doing, George? George, when you get a new member, I just want to introduce them, ask a couple of questions. So first of all, George, where are you? Where are you now? Where are you talking for us now? Because you're originally from Wales, is that right?
I am. Yes, I'm from Cardiff, but I'm talking to you from Surrey. So I go to uni at Royal Holloway, so it's term time at the moment, and yeah.
And where are you about to uni?
I'm at Royal Holloway for my second year, which is in Egham, Surrey, near Ascot.
And what are you studying, George?
Philosophy.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a weighty one.
Now, when we first started doing the podcast, we used to ask these kind of really badly phrased philosophy questions in the first 20 episodes. But we stopped doing that, didn't we, kid? James?
Yeah, only because no one was prepared for the answers.
No.
We stopped for like 10 minutes to think.
So maybe when if George comes on again, he can do some questions, philosophy questions to us. So we have to.
I can provide some philosophy questions if you want.
Great, I like that. I like that a lot. Now, George, let's just do it quickly. What's your favourite game? If I had to put a gun at your head, that's terrible. I'm not putting any guns at anyone's heads.
Not again.
Not again. Yeah. What would you say?
So, if you were to ask me right now, I'd actually probably say Chivalry 2, just because I've been playing it as like my chill out game recently, and I think it's an absolute ton of fun, even if it's a bit unruly, and yeah, it's just fantastic, to be honest.
Good. Now, George is speaking from a sort of like he's in a little room with bad internet. So if it cuts out a few times, but we cut out a little bit there, but it's Chivalry 2. That's the game. What about film or TV program? What would you say, George?
At the moment, I've got to say The Boys.
Good choice.
Yeah, I've been watching it. I've pretty much binged the entire first season the last week, and I'm absolutely loving it. So good.
Now, if I had to say to you, "How's your week been? What have you been doing?"
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that there.
That's all right. Have you had a good week? What have you been doing this week?
Oh, I've had a fantastic week. Yeah, it was my first week back in uni, so I've been doing a lot of work, but also get EGX on the weekends, and that was I've really enjoyed that one, and just been getting some work done, writing some articles, really chill. Yeah, nice.
We'll have a chat about EGX in a minute. Now, Paul, what about you? What's you been doing? You haven't been here for a couple of weeks. What's your week been like?
Oh, let me tell you about my week. I have got all of the news this week. First of all, my wife had a milestone birthday on Sunday. Now, obviously, I don't want to say how old she is because she is a lady and everything, but she's not in her 40s anymore. Let's put it that way. So that was good fun. We all went out on Sunday and stuff. Also, while we were out on Sunday, I somehow got talked into buying a PS4. So I am now a member of the Sony Massive.
How are you getting on with it, Paul?
I think it's flipping dreadful. It's the most unfriendly operating system I've ever used in my entire life. You may have seen in the sort of group chat that we have that I was wondering how to add a friend on the PlayStation Network, and I still can't do it. I haven't got a Scooby. Right. But the good thing is that I didn't buy The Last of Us because it's still crap. But I did buy God of War and Bloodborne. I've not actually managed to play on my PS4 very much because my son is the world's biggest From Software fan. So that now he's got another game to go at. It's just like it's constantly in use. So
I think you'll enjoy God of War. I think you're going to like God of War.
I think I probably will, yeah. And then lastly, I have to mention that I have actually watched television this week as well. Good. I've watched The Sandman. I'm quite enjoying that at the moment. And a film on Amazon Prime called Samaritan with Sylvester Stallone. That was also quite good.
Yeah, good. Good. That's the superhero one. Good. Thank you, Paul.
Superhero, maybe.
Yeah, okay. James, what about you? What's your week been like?
I've had a great time watching the football at the weekend. Basking in England's misery. You know me, not a fan.
Yeah.
It's good to see Southgate finally showing up for what he is, one average manager.
Good.
And I've also been watching a lot of TV at home. I found this TV, well, it's an animation, like sci-fi, pretty similar to Rick and Morty. It's called Solar Opposites. It's on Disney. It's really funny. And it's about these aliens that come to Earth with a plan to terraform it and make it their own planet. But you have to wait a while. So while they're waiting, you've got to play family. And there's loads of really random situations that they end up in. It's like an adult Simpsons. But yeah, I've been doing that.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
I want to nothing to the car.
Okay.
Because why not?
Yeah, good. Well, you lot have got a lot going on this week. Haven't you got a lot to chat about?
It's dreadful.
It's awful. I thought this would be nice and quick. It's gone forever.
I've got more than you need it.
Don't stop it.
I could
yeah, Paul, stop it now.
As well.
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah, I'm not even going to chat. I'm just going to say.
I did have my blood test this week, actually.
Oh, Jesus, don't encourage it. I've got to get off this call, see. Lord of the Rings. I watched that. It's all right. That's what I'm going to say about that because we don't have much time.
I heard some controversial things about that one.
The TV series?
Yeah. I heard that people were saying that it was mediocre.
Yeah, it is it's quite mediocre. I mean, it hooks you still. Excuse me. It hooks you, but it's it's a bit. There's some terrible accents as well. But I think the problem about it takes itself a bit too seriously. It's everyone speaks like they're delivering Shakespeare, and it's like,
oh God.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's a. Yeah, I think it's hooked me though. I'm kind of interested still. A few people I know just giving up, but yeah. Sorry, James, what were you going to say?
It's Sean Bean in it.
No, it's Sean Bean, isn't it?
There's a prequel in it.
I don't know who Sean Bean is. Do you mean Teen Bean?
Wow. Let's move on in a good way to EGX now. Yeah.
George, there's more we could talk about.
I've got a cough. You're making me cough. Making me allergic. We're all coughing now.
I'm not. I'm being quiet. Not breathing.
No. God, that's good for the listeners. EGX, George, how did you get on with EGX this year?
I had a great time. I went for 3 of the days, and I never been to anything like that before, so I went and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was weird. It was like suddenly being on scene in like a massive room with loads of people that were excited for exactly the same thing as you. So
that's the good thing about it, isn't it? It's the enthusiasm of everyone, which is really nice, isn't it? It's a good atmosphere for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, George, if I had to press you, what maybe your top 3 experiences, the things you like most there, game-wise?
I've written a list of 5 that I really enjoyed.
Go.
Yeah, I said, let me get out of my phone because I went through quite a lot of games, so I wrote 5 that I really wanted to. So I did the Halo Arena. I'm not sure if many people did that one, but there was like an AR sport they were doing.
Oh yeah. Explain how that worked.
So I had a massive chat with the people that were running it, and it was actually really interesting. So what it is it starts off as every person they get like an iPod sort of thing strapped to their wrist, and you get like a pair of goggles, and then you it's basically like volleyball but like virtually. It's definitely an experience I'd recommend.
It looked a lot of fun. Did you ever go?
Yeah, I had an actual go on it. Yeah, I waited for about an hour in the queue because I thought, because I'd read it online before, everyone said it was really good, so I thought I'd actually wait, and it was totally worth it.
There's a lot of kind of VR experiences, much more this year than I've seen before.
Yeah, I did quite a few of them, and I did you try the Peaky Blinders one?
I couldn't get into the Peaky Blinders one, yeah, and the people with the cats put me off.
Yeah.
What's your fourth game?
So I've also got I played the Modern Warfare 2 beta there as well as at home, and I am not a PC player, so I was totally hopeless. But it was definitely Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And then also I found this little indie game called Dome Keeper, and that was a really good one. And in fact, I was talking to the developer, and it was made by 6 people, which is very impressive. And
what's Dome Keeper about?
Dome Keeper is it's almost like a roguelite. So it's like a mining game. So basically, the concept is there's like this dome, and you live in the dome, and you just mine away at the floor underneath, and you harvest things, and every like 5 minutes or so, aliens attack your dome, and then you use what you've mined to like kill them, and then the more you play, the better abilities you unlock, and then you can do multiple runs, and yeah, it was a really nice little game.
How many have you done now? 3 of us. Number 2. This is like the hit parade in Paul's days in the 80s. Yeah.
There was another one called Scare Trials, I believe it was, and it's that one's by a developer called Wales Interactive, so you can see why I like that one straight away.
And this is based off the Maid of Scare, isn't it? The game from Wales Interactive, and now it's like is it a co-op thing, is it?
Yeah, it's almost like Left 4 Dead almost, because I actually think I saw the developer a little bit because is it like Left 4 Dead, and he was like no, it's absolutely not. It's more of a almost roguelike sort of thing, but there's no cards either, so it's like I don't actually know how to describe it, but I played it. It was definitely fun.
And what's number 1? Number 1 in the hit parade.
Number 1 on the hit parade. I didn't really have an order really. There was just 5 games that I liked, to be honest with you. I surprisingly enough, I actually quite like Sonic Frontiers as well. I waited a very long time to play that one.
Shall I tell you a secret I found? They had for some strange reason, they had a massive queue, you other two, for Sonic Frontiers. It was probably the most popular thing. And there was another place just down a couple of stalls down that had a copy of it running in the middle of all these other games, that no one was playing. It was so weird because it was hidden with all these things. It's like, what's going on? Why have we done? Yeah, and I sort of just had a little go at it. Yeah.
So that was there the whole time, and I waited 2 hours to play it.
I know.
My God.
I know. Good. Yes, it was fine, wasn't it? I think it's great for you, George. It's your first time, and there's lots of great indie stuff as always. You can just spend your whole time just going from these indie PCs to another PC and seeing all these kind of little builds of things and developments. What's really interesting. It hadn't got the massive hitters that it's had before, the big surprises I felt this year. But that's probably because there isn't the gaming at the moment everything's been quite delayed. Yeah, I imagine EGX 2023 would be a lot bigger. But I had a little chat with a game called Planet of Lana, and I had a chat with the event team there, and I had a little go at the game. And we might have a little listen to that now.
So I'm here at EGX with Julian, who's the event manager for the lovely game Planet of Lana. Julian, tell us about this game.
So Planet of Lana is an exploration or kind of game that you are playing Lana as, and your job is to, or not your job, but you are on this planet and you try to find your sister who had disappeared, and somehow you end up with this small little creature which is called Mui, and you two go on a journey to explore this vast lands, and somehow there's kind of these robots that appeared, and you don't really know why, but they don't seem to be friendly with you, and now you're trying to solve and figure out what happened there.
It's got a really kind of beautiful aesthetic, and it looks it's lovely, amazing. What kind of games maybe might have been influenced, or people who might like this type of game?
So I think we have to go back there to the team that made the game, which is called Wishfully, and they have been working on the movies and series for quite some time before that, so there's a lot of influence from anime too, which is why the aesthetics are looking so much like it. And I think they drew some inspiration from games like Inside or Limbo, which greatly afflicted the game, which you can also see because it's still a side-scroller, but the visuals are very much different, and so that's probably where the mixture came from.
And you're controlling both the character, but also you're controlling the creature as well.
Yeah, exactly. So you play Lana yourself, but you can control Mui by giving him directions and orders of what you want him or her, I don't really know, to do. Yeah, exactly.
It reminded me a little bit of games like Ico. Do you remember the Ico thing? It had that kind of had a feeling of that.
That's true.
And it's that kind of great bit of visual storytelling, which is rather more than the text. Is that correct?
That is true, yeah. So if you've seen a little bit of the demo already, then you will see that there's almost no text at all. You might later experience a bit of some scribblish or something, but generally the game is trying to not do anything with text, but explain to you the situations and the stuff that happens, either through a little bit of voiceovers that you will hear in the back, or just through what is happening on screen.
And the final question, of course, is release date. When are you looking for? Have you got any ideas yet?
I can't tell yet. I'm so sorry. It's coming soon. I can tell that, but we're trying to get it out as soon as possible, and we're doing it on PC and Xbox first.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Julian.
You're welcome. Oh, might I add that it's coming to Game Pass, so it will be first day Game Pass.
Brilliant. Thank you, Julian.
You're welcome.
Perfect.
There you go. Oh, cool. So much enthusiasm, Paul. That interview really made you sneeze.
That was a very good one, that.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. I'm going to go behind the scenes. These two don't know what. They haven't listened to it at all.
They
don't care.
You know, it's about a game, and you spoke to somebody.
The good thing about Planet of Lana, I had to go. It's a great kind of if you like games like what's that game? Ico. I had that Ico feel to it. Beautiful kind of visual storytelling. It's coming to Game Pass. They didn't say when, as it said from the interview, but it will be 2023. But it's a really good little highlight to look. Really lovely little game.
What if you don't like games like Ico?
Well, Paul, there is Alien games coming for you.
I would hope so. Please tell me you saw those at EGX.
No, I just avoided those. There's nothing like that there.
You know, I've got to just say that when I went to EGX when I worked for a previous website, and the only thing that I took away from it was enormous blisters on the soles of my feet.
That's why it's good that we got someone like George, who literally came in and said about the wonder of it and about enjoying the whole 3 days. He was enthusiastic. It's not meant for us, Paul. We're old.
Actually, no. The other thing I took away from it was that EA's PR women are...
Paul,
evil,
careful what you say. Oh, yeah.
Well, the one I spoke to was not very nice. Okay. There was it was when Thingy came out, one of the Star Wars games, and they had a massive TIE fighter, and I tried to take a photograph of it, and she immediately pounced on me and told me that wasn't allowed. No, that was the punching her in the face. But anyway.
Let's just say our podcast doesn't have any views from Paul Redshaw. He has his own views.
I did not punch any ladies in the face for avoidance of doubt.
Yeah. Well, I had a bit of an embarrassing experience on the second day, which was which I'd rather. Well, basically, so did you see they had like Beat Saber there? Like they had like a.
Yeah.
They had like a yeah. Well, I thought I'd go at that because I used to have a Meta Quest 2, so I was like, do you know what? I'll show up all these people because I've played it before, and everyone in front of me seems to be absolutely hopeless. Like they were so bad. And I was talking to this guy in front of me, and he's like, "Yeah, I've played it a couple of times." Well, it turns out he's like professional. He's got like a TikTok account like devoted to Beat Saber. So he played the hardest level on the hardest difficulty, and everyone was clapping around him. And then I thought I was going to be so impressive playing a medium level on a medium difficulty. And I thought I'd draw the crowds, and I took my headset off, and everyone was just talking to this other guy. So...
Oh no, George! Oh dear. Good. There's our EGX. Now we're going to talk about games we've been playing, which we haven't done for a while because we've literally been covering showcases for the last 3 weeks, haven't we? We haven't really talked about any games in September. But let's just do. I think we've got time for 2 each. Let's start with Paul. Let's start with your first one. What have you got?
What have I got? The first game I'll chat about today is quite a brave game, in fact. It's called Lego Brawls. Now, people who are into these kind of Smash Brother clone games will know that there's been 2 big ones released that are free to play just recently. So what Lego have decided to do is to do, well, not Lego, obviously, the developers of the game, have made their version of it featuring Lego characters, but then you have to pay, I think it's £35 to play it. Now, the review's live on the site, so you can read it and see what I thought in depth. But the sort of short version of it is that the game has barely any kind of strategy to it. You just kind of press the X button until somebody falls over. And apart from the characters, which were really, really good, the rest of it was pretty mediocre, to be honest.
Mm.
So, yes, I think I gave it 3.5 on the review, purely because of you get the ability to turn into a Tyrannosaurus Rex on one of the levels, and it's really cool.
Oh, I still don't know what the game is about. What is it? Is it like a?
You're aware of Smash Bros, yeah?
Yeah, it's just like that,
It's
but with
like
Lego.
that, but with Lego.
Right. Good. That's not for me, but
No. I reviewed this thinking this isn't for Gareth.
good. I thought you should review every game. Is this for Gareth or not? Right. Good. James, let's have one from you, please.
Where shall I start?
At the
I'll go with
beginning.
White Day. A labyrinth named School. It was a strange title. And I was a bit confused at first because White Day is quite a lovely traditional holiday in many Asian countries of gift giving. And this is a Korean survival horror. So it took a bit of getting used to. Basically, have to escape a school at night time. And you've got to avoid the janitors who will murder you as they're a bit angry. And if you've got no weapons, no nothing, it is about hiding and gathering like items like from the vending machine to heal. But more than that, it's full of ghosts. They just pop up out of nowhere. You least expect it. You open a locker, it pops out and tries to scare you. You go down a corridor, they start singing Oranges and Lemons, the nursery rhyme. Now that's not creepy. I don't know what it is. But yeah, it's quite an open... Is it open? There's quite a lot of areas to explore. And the best part about it is finding bits of lore to learn about the ghosts, and they've got quite tragic lives and how they died. There's a good storytelling horror. It's bloody hard. I died a few times. And I'm still having nightmares.
I was going to say, this doesn't sound like your kind of game at all. I thought you were... I mean, obviously you've got the Korean angle, which would be all over, but You know,
Yeah, that got me through it.
it's the scary bit that surprises me.
What I love about this is like how the way James described that. He was describing it because he's not played any games like this because he's too terrified of it. It was like it was a surprise. You went oranges and lemons. I mean, that's creepy, isn't it? Like they all do that. There's always someone singing a nursery rhyme.
Yeah.
I thought it just started gaming ice cream man that did that.
No, each one of them. I love the way it was like enthusiasm. It was like someone had discovered the moon for the first time and seen it. It was great.
I spent quite a lot of time staring at the walls, like reading the posters and that. Reading.
I thought you meant rather than looking at what was going on the screen, you were just looking at the walls and you were terrified.
Yeah. Oh, well done, James, for getting through that. What did you give it?
I gave it a 4.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a bit dated, visually.
Right.
And the genesis of it, like, you're not going hello neighbour. It's just an absolute nuisance.
Right.
And they ruin it. Other than that, it's really good.
Yeah. There's a lot of I've done a few of those Korean survival horrors that have come out in the last couple of months.
It's so good at storytelling.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Their ghost lore stuff is amazing.
Fantastic.
George, over to you. What's your first game you want to talk about? I'm going to do 2, so pick your 2.
I thought I'd give Battlefield 2042 a try.
Oh God.
Yeah, I thought, oh God, when I played it first, but I picked it up because I heard better things on Reddit anyway, and it's actually quite fun. Yeah, I thought it was going to be awful, but it seems like it's nothing like as bitchy as it was. The netcode is much better. There's more destructible environments. The maps have been redesigned almost completely, apart from a couple of the originals, which just feel terrible. But yeah, I'm thinking of doing a re-review. I've actually really enjoyed it. I'll be honest.
How many people? Is it busy still?
Oh yeah. It's much busier than I thought it would be. I thought I'd struggle to find games, but even for like Conquest with 128 players, it's fine. And
you're not waiting that long to get on.
No, straight. I'm straight in, straight away. I actually found it harder to find a game on Battlefield 5 or 1 at times than I have done with this one.
Right.
So
it's interesting that you're saying this because it was one of those games that I thought, this is going to come to Game Pass through EA Play quite soon. I thought it's interesting that they haven't done it, and I was thinking, it must have picked up a little bit.
Well, I think what they're doing is they're working on it long term. So like I think that they're trying to do like a No Man's Sky where they don't give up on it, and they just. Well, I mean, I think most of the Battlefield community is just giving up on it because it's so different. But I think EA are trying to salvage it a little bit, which is probably why.
And Paul, you didn't get on with it, did you? Did you review it for us?
I did review it for us, and I thought it was rubbish. So I'm surprised that if it's picked up as much as George says, he's either not a very good judge of games, or they've made it better. So I was quite surprised. But
I also thought it was rubbish. Just to clarify, when it came out, I promise I'm not that bad of a judge.
Okay,
George, you don't have to justify yourself to us. We were with you from the moment you talked. It's Paul we were worried about.
Yeah, Gareth hates me. It's only when he can't get anybody else on me.
We just talked about Alien Firestorm. That's our touch.
Alien Firestorm? I've not played that one, mate.
Which one was that?
Fireteam Elite.
Fireteam! Firestorm's the sequel.
Firestorm's just made up Gareth's head.
Yes, I'll be right on that one. Whose turn is it? It's me.
It's you. We're dying to know what you've been playing.
Well, I've been playing, the first one is FIFA 23. I've had early access. So everyone be quiet while me and James talk about FIFA 23. We're fans. Me and James both got the early access, so we've been playing since Monday, 8 o'clock New Zealand time. And it's back again. Football's back again on the console. That you just do it every year. You buy it every year. You go, what am I doing after 4 days? Why have I played 100 hours of this? I want to cry. But it's a nice extra little features. There's things like in Ultimate Team, they've done a little recap of things like a thing called moments that you get to kind of go into it's not anything new. I think Madden do it. You go into it and you can, I don't know, go into a famous game 60 minutes in, and you have to kind of have a task like score 2 goals in a famous game. I think the idea is that they're going to do it throughout the season, so there might be a, I don't know, Man City, Man United game, and you might have to relive that moment. I think that's right, isn't it, James? I think that's their plan.
Not quite. We have played quite a few moments, and one was just passing the ball 10 times.
No, but that's the plan. That's the plan to go forward this year. That's what they're going to do.
Themes to them, yes.
Yeah, and then throughout the year, the idea.
Teams.
Yeah, they're going to look at a game and then they'll try to relive it that week. But that's good. The career mode is meant to be a little bit different. You can choose actual managers this time. But it's it plays a little bit better. I think I'm really enjoying it. James can't score, so he's not having a good time. But it's.
I mean, that's what you say. But
that was
I'm
cold.
the provider.
You are the provider.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's.
Are
Sorry,
we still
George.
talking about football?
I was gonna say I have a question. If you guys really like football games, did you give eFootball a go?
Well, James has reviewed eFootball, haven't you, James?
I reviewed the new update, and it's painful. It's an absolute shocking game.
Yeah, I think I reviewed it the first time. It was I gave it a 1. Yeah, Leo literally would not let me give it a 0. So
I think I gave it a 2, only because it's got extra teams, and it is free. So if I had to pay for it, I'd definitely despise it. But it's still a bad game.
You know when a game's really bad when its only plus is that it's free.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's FIFA. We do slag off. It does give a lot of content as well. To be on the sort of we're just used to it. We're just used to the same thing, but you get a lot of stuff for your buck, don't you? You got a lot of modes.
The downside is it's all football stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
It's also catering to the market.
I think they should include a shooting mode where aliens run to the pitch
or some driving.
Or some driving, yeah.
You just drive to the game. That's what we could pull with like that. If we could just get from your house, you drive to the game.
What about football like they do on Top Gear, where you do it in cars? That would be awesome.
That's Rocket League.
No, the Rocket League's rubbish.
Yeah.
I don't like Rocket League.
Okay, right. Good. Let's do another one each. Let's start. Paul, what's your second and final game?
Well, in a change to the advertised content, I'm actually going to talk about a game called Prodius, which is just come out on Game Pass. I'm in the process of writing the review for it, and basically it's like a love letter to the original Doom games. So Doom from 1993. And it's fast-paced, it's bloody, it's violent, it's got demons in it and big guns. It's from a first-person perspective, and it's flipping great fun. What more could you want? There you go. Any questions?
I don't know. I zoned out. I have no idea.
I think I zoned out and Doom 1993.
Oh, you know what? You two are Philistines. Come on, George. Tell me you know. Well, you were probably not born in 1993, were you? So
I was born in 2002.
Wow.
God, I hate the kids.
Wow.
Well, do you know what makes me really sad is that my daughter was born in 2000. So yeah, I'm literally old enough to be your dad, and Gareth's even older.
I didn't know you had a
podcast here, so walk on. I was like, I hate kids.
I hate kids.
Wow.
Good grief. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, Prodius. Do yourself a favour. If you've got Game Pass, play it. It's brilliant.
Oh, okay. Good. We won't be playing. But I think everyone is. But it's very popular, isn't it?
Not for you, Gareth.
No, it's not for me. No. Good. James, your second game.
It's another Game Pass game. Let's Build a Zoo. It comes out, well, at the time of this podcast coming out, it's just come out, I think. And it's a zoo management game. So I won't bore you into the details of building enclosures and putting pathways down and such. What really sets it apart is that one thing you can do is splicing DNA of animals to make new species, like the goobit, which is a goose and a rabbit combined, or the chicow, which is a chicken and a cow.
Never.
You get the idea. I can go through the next 300,000 combinations. I won't. The time's ticking on. It's just a really deep zoo management game, and you're always unlocking something new, whether it's amenities, new bins. There's always new bins. People are filthy. Toilets. But also, every so often there's like new tasks and variety choices. And these variety choices are fantastic. At one point, a dog was found in the park, and you can either feed it to the animals, or dress it up as a lion, or find its owners. It's your call.
What did you do, James?
You fed it to the lions, didn't you?
No, I dressed it up, and then another one I fed it to the dinosaurs. But it's one of those, it can be good or evil. And it's just really fun to try different choices out. And also, it's very deep because animals die. You have to clean up the carcasses. I'm calling the Undertaker. So, there's a lot going on. As you can tell.
You gave it a 5, didn't you? Out of 5.
I did, because I played it for hours and hours. I never got bored. Any questions?
I'd never really considered the concept of being an evil zookeeper before. That does sound quite interesting. Can you get a mustache and stuff? Because that would be great. Just twirl your mustache and wahaha.
That's the only thing it's missing.
It should only been a 4.5 then.
Good. Right. Let's go to George again with your second game. George, what have you got?
It's another Game Pass game. I've been playing No Man's Sky, as I previously mentioned, actually. But I think I've just really got a thing for redemption games, I guess. Just and I drop in every time it releases a new update. So at least 25 times over the last 2 years.
And what's the new update now?
I think it's kind of hard to keep up because every time I drop into a new update, I feel like I just miss things. So then I come in the next time and I think it's still part of the same update, but it wasn't. But I'm pretty sure they just added you can build massive bases on your space station now, and you can build balconies on your space station, and there's thicker asteroid fields, and there's new visual effects in the galaxies, and it all looks really impressive now.
It is. They're amazing what they've added to that. I think it's around 20 kind of DLC packs they've added over the time. They really made that longevity of that game.
Oh yeah.
I first got it on the PS4. I think I put in 40 hours on that. I lost that copy. Then I went over to the Xbox and I did probably 60 hours into it. I was obsessed by that game, but I just loved just turning up on planets and just walking around a planet, doing a bit of this. Yeah, so it's an amazing game. I love to see. Yeah. I'd like to see a second one. I'd like to see what they would do again with that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just with the second one. I think I just struggle to see how they do even more because was it 6 years old now? 2016 they came out.
Yeah.
And 20-something content packs. It's crazy. It's this and there's things to do for pretty much every genre. If you whatever genre you like, there's something to do in that game.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. Good on. Is it me again? It's back to me. That was quick.
Again. Yeah.
Oh my word! Let's talk about something recent because we haven't done any games this September because we've been busy doing all the conferences. I've got so many to talk about. Let's do the gallery because that came out this week, and the gallery is a FMV, full motion video game, and which I like a lot of. I like to do those, and I like to play those. And this concept of this, it's when you start, you either pick a female or male protagonist, and if you pick the male protagonist, it's set in 1981. And if you pick the female protagonist, it's set in 2021. But what happens is both stories are almost like replays of each other, but everything's swapped over, like the two genders are swapped over. Of course, it's in two different pirates, but initially it's the same storyline, but with little differences here and there. So really, you get two sort of games really to play, and actually, you could just play one of them on its own. You don't need to do the other one, But with normal full motion video games, you play multiple times through to get the different endings. And when you review them like that, sometimes, especially if you're not getting on with them, you like go, oh, I've got to do this again. Oh, I've got to look at that scene again for this time. This is a great experience of seeing completely, having two games in one. And the writing's really good. It's set in a kind of art gallery, which is called The Gallery, and in both periods. And its art gallery owner is getting this, it's down his luck, but it's getting this this new piece of work that's a really expensive piece of work. And this person comes in and takes them hostage. And we don't know why. It's a portrait gallery. And it's set kind of like in 1981, it's kind of it was a time of like trouble. We had kind of riots in 81. The economy was really bad, and the same implications after 2021 when it's still in the pandemic. So there's people with masks on. So it's really clever. It's a clever piece of writing. It's really well acted, really well shot. Especially with the budget say you have to work with, but it looks great. The only thing is with this, it's still. With full motion video games, you just wish the choices system it needs to be a bit more exciting. It needs to do something with that. Because at the end of the day, you're just going, I do this or I do that. I go this way or go that way. You're not that whole just making a decision what path you're going through is really either do or that. It's not. You need to just look at that and make that somehow more interesting or do something completely new with that. But apart from that, if you love your HFM, I can't even say it, full motion video games, this is the one for you. Good. Any questions you'd like before I go on?
I was going to say, I don't actually know what like a full motion video game is. I've got to be honest.
It's dreadful, George. That's what they are.
It's basically, George. It's the same. It's film. You're watching film on. It's video. It's actors. It's a dialogue, and at some point, you'll make a choice. So you'll have to like the character on screen might be looking at two doors. And then the gameplay is you decide to go to the left door, and that will take you through a different narrative. And then if you go for the right door, your choices will be completely, different.
I understand. Yeah.
And they started in the 1990s, and then they've had a revival on this console.
Have you ever watched Black Mirror Bandersnatch?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. That's what that's based on. Yeah, exactly. That's that.
Yeah, because I really enjoyed that. I might give that a go actually.
Yeah, there you go on Netflix. Yeah, that's a full motion video game. Yeah, no, it's good. Let's have a quick look at the news now. We just before we came on, James, over to you because it's Skull and Bones has been delayed. James's Game of the Year is now coming out in March. Yeah, James, what do you think?
I mean, it's worth delaying a game that's not ready. I think to get it perfect, like they want it to be, it's clearly going to take time. And March 9th is now my favourite day next year.
Yeah.
But I do worry that I think they spent over 120 million in development so far, which is more than Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And this has got no fan base. So,
it's, quite a few copies. Well, it's got you. You're its fan base.
I can't buy that many though. I can buy a few copies.
You have to buy $120 million worth. Good.
For Christmas. Yeah, don't like it now. I want to tell you what it is.
What is the obsession with it? I thought it was just like, did you like really enjoy Black Flag or something?
I've never played Black Flag.
I mean, it's even more confusing.
I think
we actually a professional pirate. I think
we watched I think we had an E3. We did a podcast on this, and James really liked the look of it. And I think at the time it was Skull and Bones and it was Sea of Thieves hadn't come out yet. And James, I think, was on the podcast. Might have said that's going to be the better game, Skull and Bones, and we've
So
kept
stuck
into
with
it. Yeah, we've stuck with
Yeah.
it. It's a long joke, really, George. Is that? I don't think it's any.
Yeah, if
it's
you
done-
ask me off the podcast, you might get a different answer.
Yeah, you might go. I'm not going to go near that. I'm definitely not going to spend 70 quid on it.
That's the exact quote.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, all Ubisoft games are £70 or more now, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's a bit of a risk. And I think it is. I mean, there's two things that I think are interesting. It was releasing a day before God of War 2, which for a 70 quid game is a bit of a mistake. So it could have moved because of that, and to get out of this busy time, to go into the busy 2023 period. I have a feeling it's going to be delayed again. I think they're going to test the hell out of that. I think before they release it.
Yeah, there's no open beta coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say, if you also see how absolutely stacked next February is with releases, but it's insane.
Yeah, I think it might go again. Maybe. I mean, Ubisoft haven't got anything this year now. They've got a couple of DLC stuff, but they haven't got any new games coming out this Christmas for the first time. Just Dance, yeah, that's it. Yeah, Just Dance.
Don't neglect the Just Dance.
No,
you're doing the review, Gareth.
I never do.
We're going to have to do a Let's Play, I think.
Yeah. I can't do my back. So Skull and Bones has been delayed. Now I saw this game here. I've just put this in. It's the EA have just suddenly said this. We knew. I think I've seen a little bit about it, but they've given it a February 17th release date. That was quite a shock. It's Wild Hearts. It's coming out to the Xbox Series X, and they're talking about being a Monster Hunter type game. Did you ever get a chance to have a look at this? Any of you?
No.
No. Good.
Totally professional.
I looked at it.
Yeah.
But I don't recall ever seeing it before.
Yeah, I mean, I think I heard something about it, but I didn't follow up. But we don't normally get this when we just said, here's a new game and it's coming out, and it's from EA. It looks quite big. It looks like a AAA. It's a sort of like co-op. I was playing co-op or solo. It looks quite an ambitious game. Me and James are having this conversation about EA, saying they haven't released anything apart from their sort of sports franchise. They haven't got any sort of like their own IPs, and this is it. It could be quite decent.
It's a different kind of experience for them as well.
Yeah.
I've never seen them release games like this. So it's nice to see it fresh.
Yeah, busy February time as well.
And it is co-op, so...
Yeah. When do you think what's your guesses on Starfield? When do you think they said they're going to try to do it before June, didn't they? That was when the conference was, wasn't it? Within 12 months. Do you think Starfield would be April time or something? Do you think Redfall will come first?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think maybe May. Just before you do, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good shout.
I think Starfield might have came out March 9th. But now it'll move, I presume.
Nobody wants... Yeah, you don't want to go head-to-head with Skull and Bones, do you?
No. It doesn't happen, we know why.
Yeah, exactly. Let's have a little just chat about, because we haven't chatted about this because it happened a while ago, a couple of weeks ago, but we haven't been on the chat about just your thoughts about the GTA links. So the leaks happened for GTA 6, and it was early development stuff. It's sort of like, we think, but we don't know because he's just pleaded not guilty. Sort of 17-year-old in the UK has been arrested for it. But someone's come in and they basically, if you don't know, if you think they took GTA 6 and released that online. Some of the kind of, I think there's about 91 videos, isn't it, of sort of like in development stuff. George, are you a GTA fan? Because these two aren't, so I'm just kind of interested.
I am a fairly sizable. I'd say, especially the last couple of years. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I've got 5. I've got like the next gen version. I actually paid for that, so yeah, definitely. Really disappointed. Not gonna lie.
You're disappointed with the leaks?
Yeah, like I think it was such a shame that they had to release details in that way, like, especially for developers because they must be working so hard on it. Like, I just really felt like. And like all these developers were like posting out like in support, and like that 17-year-old must have been like the most wanted person in the world for like 3 days before he was caught or something.
Yeah. No, I think it was really great. I think you just said that all developers from all over the place just were sharing their early development videos of big games that they obviously made. And I thought that was quite a nice moment.
Yeah, definitely.
There was some people, of course, who were going, "Oh, it looks awful. It's terrible." All that stuff. It's like, well, but I think the sad thing for Rockstar is like, I don't think we knew it was going to be in the Miami area. I mean, whatever the final game is going to be with it. Is that they're going to have lots of stuff that's going to be new and different. I don't think it's really spoiling anything, is it?
No, I don't think it's. I don't think. I got to be honest. I actually don't think it's much of a leak at all. I think just the fact is that this is the first that we've seen it, and that's why it's so huge. Like, say we had a trailer or like any sort of proper. Like, we've had like a little announcement, but let's say we had like a proper announcement, it wouldn't have been anything really.
Yeah.
But the fact is that it's the first. Yeah. I think that it's, and like, also I just think that it's just like the way that the community, not like other developers, but like players, like as you said, like are criticizing the way it looks. I mean, like, did you see the video of what God of War looked like a year and a half before release?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. I know. It's like some people. It's a great kind of meme when someone was going, "This house is rubbish," and they just had someone with like the dig site.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
It's awful. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to ask Paul or James because they don't like GTA.
Excuse me, we're allowed to have
you are.
opinions, are we not?
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think of it?
I thought it looked awful. No, I mean, seriously. But seriously, folks. No, I thought the thing that I took away from it is, I mean, Rockstar need to figure out that somebody's birthday is not a secure password. And also the thing that George was saying about how all the developers came out and released their early videos, because I think this kid that nicked it, assuming that he did, had said, well, graphics is one of the first things finished in the game, and this, that, and the other. And so everybody has popped out online and going, "Oh, really? You think so, do you? Yeah. Here's our footage." So that's nice that there's solidarity. But I wasn't impressed with the footage. I thought it looked awful.
I think the big thing about Rockstar is they normally keep everything quite harsh, and then like you said, Joe, they release a trailer, and then you'll get an idea that, well, you don't normally get anything like screenshots beforehand. So it is a shame for them in their kind of like their sort of brand of that sense, not having that. But it's still going to be a surprise. James, what do you think before? Go on, George.
No. Go on, James.
Yeah, what do you think, James?
I was going to say they've had quite a ton of time in recent years, Rockstar, because they've been trying to do the remastered games. That didn't go too well, did it? And then they've had the leaks. But in the end, I think it's actually helped them a little bit because people are feeling bad for them. And it is a shame that he got leaked. So it's been good PR, really. So it's not all lost.
No, it's true.
And again, you can't judge the game based on some development footage.
No.
Most games look horrendous. Some still do on day one.
Like GTA 5.
Yeah. Like the remaster.
Give it a chance.
Yeah. Good. Great. Right, let's go to what we're looking forward to next week. Paul, what are you looking forward to next week?
I am looking forward to hopefully getting some hands-on time with my new PS4, if I can persuade the boy to stop playing it. I've got God of War, Ratchet and Clank, and all sorts of things to play. So, actually, I can ask you a quick question, if you don't mind, Gareth. Gran Turismo 7, is it worth it?
Well, you love cars, don't you? Really,
I do love cars.
If you love cars,
blue one.
I think the history of the cars is really good. So they have these kind of little moments when they have sort of museum pieces about the car, so you sort of unlock the makes of cars, and there's these little documentaries that you can kind of watch as well.
It's like Google.
So basically you like it because it's like watching telly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How's the racing action?
It's good. They move around. They do things.
They do move around, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Brilliant. Right, sold. I'll go out and get a copy now.
Get that. Play God of War. That's going to take you a long time because I told you
I do need to play God of War.
I told you I thought replayed it and I went, I think I'm near the end. Oh no, this is long. This game. I forgot how long it was.
I got Horizon Zero Dawn as well. That's
good. That's very good. Good. What about you, George? What are you looking forward to next week?
That's a very good question. I think I'm actually looking forward to just playing. Well, I'm trying to go through my backlog. I've got an absolutely enormous backlog. So I thought I might finally re-pick up, Assassin's Creed Valhalla first, because I tried it first time, didn't grab me at all. So thought I'd give that another go.
Yeah, good.
And
Keep going with it. Oh yeah, do Elden Ring. Wow, yeah.
Elden Ring? You've not done Elden Ring?
Yeah.
No, I tried it. I've tried it twice, and both times I'm just so bad at Souls-likes.
Oh, you obviously suck.
No, I do. I've no shame in admitting that I'm rubbish at those games.
Even Gareth could play it.
Even I got near. I still haven't finished it, but I got near the end.
I've only played Dark Souls Remastered and Dark Souls 3, and I was terrible at both of them and quit both of them. So
there we go.
Yeah.
James, what about you? You looking forward to?
One word: FIFA.
There we go, FIFA. Yeah, I think I'm going to be playing more FIFA.
This is my life.
This is it for me as well. Now, gentlemen, if we need to get hold of you, where can we get hold of you? George, if we need to get hold of you, if you've got any socials you want to say, you might not want to do that.
I think probably my Twitter, to be honest with you. But which is literally just I can't even remember my handle, to be honest with you.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's on the website.
It's on the website. We'll find it. We'll find you. Just put George in. Just George in the Twitter. Yeah.
Just put George. Yeah, George Twitter.
Yeah.
Good grief.
What about Paul? What about you?
Hello. I am also on the Twitter, and I have no problem remembering what my handle is because it is just at TheXboxHub Paul.
Good. Brilliant. And James, what about you?
I am on Twitter and Instagram, and my tag is at OKUKO.
Good.
Still no handle.
Still no handle.
You never get a handle from me.
And you can find me at GB Variety at Twitter and Twitch. Now, hopefully, we'll be back next week if we haven't gone into economic collapse. But we'll see you.
We've done a whole hour and not mentioned the economic carnage, and you had to spoil it, didn't you?
I just to see my phone just suddenly keep coming up with stuff. I was like, oh my word! There might be just people hunting in the street now.
All I can say is it's a good job Darren's not on this.
I know, exactly. Right, gentlemen, thank you so much, and well done, George. First one. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
You've been listening to the official podcast of TheXboxHub.com. You'll be able to find all the notes of this show at www.thexboxhub.com/podcast. You can also check out our social feeds on Instagram and Twitter at The Xbox Hub, and search for The Xbox Hub on Facebook.